evening, welcome back. You're watching No Reservations with myself, Ayeshah Alam. As I explained before the break, we've got two fantastic guests. My first guest this evening, well, he is one of the most brilliant journalists that Pakistan has ever produced. I've got a long list of credits for him. I mean, obviously, we all know this is excellent research based on facts, and the way he collects his information has just put him, and of course, an excellent command over the English language, just put him head and shoulders above most other journalists in this country. His list of credits of people that he works with include CNN, ABC, Los Angeles Times, New York Times, PTV, Aaj, The Daily Express, Newsline, and Time magazine to his credit, all in just 46 years of age. Who is he? Live with Talat, Mr. Talat Hussain. Good evening, sir.
Good
Wonderful
evening.
to have you with us on the set
much.
here. All right, I'm going to cut right down to it. Being married to a general's daughter, you're having a politician as a mamu, and supported by the bureaucracy. Does that make it easier for you as a journalist to move around? Because you basically have your feet in all the worlds, basically. Does that make it easier for you, or is it actually more difficult?
I guess it's easier for me, but I've got a son and a daughter now.
MashaAllah.
I don't have politician for a mamu.
Oh, okay.
Because you said so many things
Yes.
about fact.
Yes.
But I'm often confused with being a relative of Mushahid Hussain. I'm not.
You're not.
Not that I'm sort of, I want to use this platform to publicly disown it. But this is one of the many mythologies associated with me. I'm not. I think it's the Hussain bit that kind of people use to connect me with it. But that doesn't make my life any less difficult or more interesting than it is. I think you can manage time very well. Depending on how you juggle different balls that are there. So I'm okay. I mean, I sort of get by.
Speaking of getting confused, I remember in the same way there was a YouTube, I don't know if you saw this, one of the other channels was trying to call you, and they called the other Talat Hussain.
I recall that precisely. The anchor asked a question about Afghanistan.
Yes, yes.
And Talat Hussain, who's a great actor,
was like, he's a what?
And he actually gave a full answer. He said, Bibi, this is the other Talat Hussain. And she didn't say anything.
Yes.
And she said, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you, goodbye. Nice to have you on the show.
Exactly.
I'm using Twitter. I've got loads of tweets sort of who've tweeted in, and they've said, okay, please ask Talat Hussain this. They want to ask for that YouTube thing. Plus the May 12th transmission. You were ducking and going, okay, here the bullets are flying, and you really made us feel people right there with you. How do you manage to keep talking to the camera, keeping your cool, while you're actually being shot at?
I think the TV can exaggerate and it can accentuate.
Okay.
Therefore, the images that are transmitted through TV, though reflect reality, but they do not necessarily come with emotions.
Okay.
It is tough. We like every other journalist in Pakistan, all of us, we are normal human beings. So when the bullets are flying or you are traveling in an aircraft that is wobbly and you are fearful of flying, the same kind of thoughts cross our head as in the case of other people. The issue really is that we have the pressing compulsion of not allowing a second of silence on air.
Right.
So it's the compulsion that keeps you going, really. Left to our own devices and choices, we would rather pack, strap and go back home.
Yeah, so it's more adrenaline that takes over, you think?
I think it's the compulsion of not allowing the screen to go blank, I'll be very honest with you, to begin with, and then losing your credibility.
Right.
And then, log kya kahenge bahar jaake, you know what, because people expect so many things.
Uski bhi jaan nikal gayi thi.
Exactly. So it's the expectation, it's the keeping the screen going and a conversation going. And then of course you get used to it as well.
Okay.
A little bit of experience helps you not stare the danger down, but stare at danger and not be cowed down.
You went up into the mountains to go and speak with the Taliban, which was a very daring thing, because in today's day and age, for journalists, when journalists are being beheaded and executed, and you know, unfortunately, they're really being not well treated at all. To go into that kind of environment and speak with these people, and you asked a couple of very poignant questions where I was like, I don't know if they're going to let him out. I mean, okay, it was a really dodgy moment. Did you ever feel that, okay, maybe I've stepped a little bit too far here?
The temptation is very strong, frankly, to stay back from that line that is in your head.
Yes.
But then the requirement really is to keep pushing that line. Every step of the way for every journalist who would walk into that kind of a situation would be a tough one. You would think of your family, you would think of your folly as well. You would say, what on earth am I doing here? You know, why can't I live a normal life and stay back home and enjoy life?
Yes.
But then you keep on driving, you never go back. And once you're in that situation, you take a deep breath, and I speak probably for every journalist who is in that situation, and say, now that we are here, might as well make the best use of it and take the risks which are built into that environment. But I can tell you something about the people who are wanted by the state, not liked by the state for good reasons, is that if they do not suspect your motives, if you're able to convince them that you are here with your editorial agenda and no other agenda, I think you're on safe territory. Which is a kind of intangible. You can't really explain to them that you don't have an agenda, but it's that sort of vibe that you, it's a vibe connection. Really. If not, danger zone.
But that is on a personal note, I mean, you have, you know, mashallah, you got children, you have a wife. I mean, doesn't your wife ever implore you, Khuda ke vaste, wahan nahi jaye aap? I mean, do you ever have the situation where at home it has issues? How do you guys deal with it in your marriage? I mean, it has to be a difficult thing.
But Ayesha, how can you be a journalist and not go where the news is? I think wives, like other family members, have to understand that it is in the nature of the beast.
Does your wife understand?
I don't know whether she understands that or not, but she does complain a lot. In the end, she understands that I have to go. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
And how do you explain it to your children?
My daughter cried a lot when 12th of May happened, and now they have a chronic complaint whenever they see me on TV that, you know, Baba has gone to the mountains. And the mountains and moving out of Islamabad or in the sort of urban environment that they're used to has become a fright for them, and therefore they are prohibited from watching my shows. I tell my wife, and Tamina makes sure that they do not watch the shows that are shot from the field, even though the field may be completely peaceful. But in their impressionable minds, a construct has been made that whenever he goes out, he's in danger zone. And I have to qualify it by saying that it's not just for me as well. Other journalists also go through the same thing. So it's not peculiar to me, it's peculiar to our profession.
Absolutely. How does that make you feel?
Makes you feel important. You know, men are very insecure creatures, and they look for approval all the time, and they also have a larger than life image of themselves that, you know, they like to pretend to their children and to their wives that, you know, they're the best thing that have happened to them. And I guess it's great approval, great endorsement, great injection to your ego. But at the same time, it puts a heavy burden on you, because then you have an image about yourself, not just in front of your children and your family, but in front of the people as well, that you have to live up to. And I can tell you that I sometimes, increasingly now that I'm getting older, I'm 42 and a half, but not 46.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bad research.
No. I know where the research is coming from. My sort of bio data is not available easily that way, because I'm going to be 46 anyways. I feel that I'm not up to the task sometimes, because it is not just a test of your mental capability and your commitment. It's physically draining. And therefore, it's as much a test of your physical endurance as it is of your editorial abilities.
Yes, you have a whole host of admirers out there. People love your work. But when Talat Hussain gets up in the morning and he goes into the bathroom to shave and he looks at himself in the mirror, who does Talat Hussain see?
He sees a person who could have been another person. Not that I have any regrets. I think I can't even imagine the kind of success I've had in my profession with my limited capabilities, frankly. I could have been a cricketer, for instance.
Yes, I believe you're a big fan of cricket.
I am a good cricketer. I'm not just a fan of cricket. I am a very good cricketer. I've played first class.
Really?
I've played under 19.
But why didn't you go into cricket?
Because frankly, I come from sort of lower middle class, and therefore the choices are very stark for you. Either you branch off in sports and actually take a cut in your normal career evolution, or you actually keep it as a hobby and a desire, and, you know, use that later on in your age as a flight of your imagination, what could have been. And then essentially
maybe World Cup jeet ke aa sakta tha type of
I probably would have dropped less catches. I would have been a better bowler. I would not have been caught on the airports doing strange things. I would not have been a druggie. You know, I would not have allowed bookies to come near my hotel. I could have done all these things. Whether I would have taken wickets or scored or not, that is besides the point.
Yes.
Probably I would have avoided all those things. I guess that would bring some value to cricket.
The alter ego of Talat Hussain, the wonderful cricketer of Pakistan. On that note, we're going to cut to a short break and bring in our next guest for this evening. As I said before, she is known as a hawk across the border. Who are we talking about? Stay tuned to find out right here on No Reservations.